Check out some great tips and tactics on how to set up your Beats Lab in your very own home, and also how to set up a mobile Beats Lab for taking it on the road and kicking it with your friends. All right, welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. Baer here once again today on a fantastic hobby hump day. It's great to be back in the saddle. There isn't all these rule books coming out, and we can hit you with a fresh tutorial coming in this time on the Beats Laboratory. As you're going to see in this video, it's been about a year since since I recorded the video. It's been more than a year, but you can't tell that. Yeah, the camera adds plus or minus 1 to 2 months, give or take. So, but I've set up and reconfigured the Beats Lab here. You probably remember how to set up your airbrushing booth video back in the day. It was about a year ago. Well, now we got a lot more equipment in here. We're able to do a lot more things. One of the things I wanted to show you guys, everybody's always like, hey, show us your Beats Laboratory and things like this. So I wanted to show you guys that because we got some nice lighting in here. We've got, the stretch cord or air hose right out for using our airbrush with our TCP Global Master Airbrush Studio booth that I'm sure a lot of people know about. I know they got versions with like LED lighting in it now. It's crazy the stuff you can do with hobby technology these days. I don't even know what to say. Like sometimes I see things and I'm like, I want that. That's so smart. But then you look at the price and you're like, I don't want that. But with a little bit of common sense, a little bit of know-how, going down to your local Walmart, kind of reappropriating things, reusing things. Even box lids make great sorters for paints. It's pretty much the sky's the limit. It's all about being frugal, saving those hobby dollars to spend on all the great new minis that come out, right? So today we're going to show you how to set up or just some ideas for things you can do for your Beats Lab at home, and also how to make a portable Beats Lab for taking it on the road, hanging out with your friends, or going down to your local game store. Alright, so here it is, my Beats Laboratory. Now, you've probably seen the video of how to set up your own airbrush booth, I guess. About a year ago. It's been a year since I moved into this apartment, the new Cat Command Center down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And a lot has changed in this room over the past year. We've gotten some new gear. It's kind of expanded on our whole operation here, and in order to do so, I've kind of had to pick up a few new things. So first off, I have a fancy IKEA table because it's got this flat top kind of thing, so you can attach clamp lights and things to it, which was really nice. And actually, I didn't really buy that. I already had it, but they run about $150, and I think that particular model is out of stock now because I tried looking it up on their website and it appears to be out of stock, unfortunately. But you can get comparable ones, I'm sure, now at IKEA. But the big thing here is the spray booth that you can pick up, and if you're going to be doing airbrushing and such, because it's got the hood underneath it, and also there's your random cat sighting for the day. So it's got that hood that basically plugs right into the window, which is pretty swanky and definitely helps with the overspray a bit. Now, people always ask me when I do these videos, or they see the whole hood, they're like, hey, have you ever pushed anything through it that's hazardous or flammable? And I haven't, to be honest. There's some wiring and stuff in there, the solvent might eat and eventually it might spark or something. I'm not exactly sure. I probably would say that's not a good idea, so don't try that. Now, what I wanted to show you was kind of the lighting situation here. Now, I picked up these two OT lights they were 50% off when Joann Fabrics was dumping them. And this particular box with the clamp one over there and this one right here was $80, and it was normally $300, which is kind of incredible. And you could get a little wheel feature for this thing, so you can wheel it around. But obviously with carpet, don't really need that. So you can kind of tell here it's a pretty big lamp, to say the least, right? So it's nice and big, and it's nice and bright. But it doesn't really have that whole get down in your face and really give you coverage. It's just kind of just kind of covers the whole area in light, which is great, if you want to see the stuff to get to in your Beats Laboratory here. So I like this light, and I like its brother light right here. Now I have a backup light, another IKEA lamp here. I don't really use it as much because now that I got Hercules, as I like to call them, this is a triple. It's basically like a fluorescent light that you would see in the ceiling, like a miniaturized version of it. And this thing literally produces the light of a sun. That might be not total correct, but you can see there that it literally lights up the whole area right there. So it really gets in and it really does some good light. Now it's a $100 lamp from IKEA, but you can probably tell here it's ginormous. I mean, it can literally be repositioned. It can go over top of your whole operation, you know, over your monitors, over your whatever you might have. You know, I've got this this vent hood here up, so when I'm airbrushing, doing tutorials and things, it can still suck in the air a little bit, and I can still have my my area right here to work on the things for the tutorials. Now, so these lamps are great. Obviously, this is probably the most expensive part of it, this $100 lamp up here, but I definitely think it's worth it. You know, pick those up on Amazon. I'll try to put the link in the video here. Now, desks are kind of optional. You can get one of these desks over here at, oh, there's my lunch. Another bachelor's salad. Woo! You can get these desks here at Lowe's for like 40 bucks. No big deal, right? You don't have to get this thing. I like it because when I sit down, I can kind of clear and get underneath here, which is really nice. But also it has that functionality to clamp things to it. So once I sit down, you can kind of see the rest of what I got going on here at the Beats Lab. So it's basically part airbrush, part normal paints, right? So I could switch from doing, you know, airbrushing. I can just pull this off and, you know, I got my little place to kind of paint stuff here. I've got my top 20 paints here, which is another video here on the channel that you can check out. Now, something I wanted to point out to you guys, this is a toothbrush holder, but it doubles as a paintbrush holder. So, you know, when you basically open this up and you put the cap on it, as long as you keep it upright, you protect your bristles. And as long as you don't tilt it over, the bristles aren't banging up against the top of the thing here. So if you basically kind of tilt it to put in. This is kind of my go box. Like when I'm going up to the store, these are my paints that I'm most likely to use for my projects. So they're all kind of like in one place. And I got some, you know, you've probably seen the video on these. I got a bunch of good washes in here. Now I got my Sharpie pens. You've probably seen that video by now as well. Like how to paint without paint. Doing the golden trim or gold trim and things like that. And then I got some liner brushes here. A couple of new Winsor Newton Series 7s that I picked up that I really haven't used yet. They're kind of too small for the projects I've been working on so far, but we will get to that. And I got some new gold. So I think it's time to update my top 20 paints that you need to know. Maybe we'll go to the top 30. And then we got all the airbrush stuff here. You know, on my airbrush gear, like my airbrush is soaking in a little cleaner right now. And we just kind of leave that so the cats, you know, that little protective covering so the cats don't come up and drink out of it. And there's what I was airbrushing last night, some greens on this this Necron Toon Blade here for commission. I got a bunch of those to paint up. Then we got my oil and cleaners and various waters and glues and things back there, and some used bottle cap palettes that I just kind of have scattered about. Now, another thing that you might want to consider, if you don't have airsoft guns, you can pick up beads at your local store, the little plastic beads at like Walmart and such. You can pick these up and put them in your paints. So basically, you have something. Well, that one doesn't have it. One of these does. There we go. So if you have something like a shaker in your paints right there that really, you know, kind of mixes them up. And then there's my soap from all my brushes. Now you're probably like, hey, Robbie B, you gotta have a lot more paints than that, right? Well, it turns out if you just turn this corner right here, there's my tools, there's my extra airbrush stuff like my gloves and my mask, and then down here is all sorts of different paints, like pretty much all my sets of paints. This is I'm setting up a box here this is all the paints I'll need to paint my Ogre Kingdoms and my paint recipes right here. Another cool thing too is, you know, hey, never forget, like, write down all your paint recipes. I have stuff in here, like this is the tutorial I saw on GW's site that I like the colors, so I wrote that down in case I ever need to use it. But I mean, I've got everything I've ever painted in the history of ever, going way back, I've got in here. So like, and I sometimes even do the little paint sample, so in case they discontinue the paint, you know, that's it's still in there, so I can match it. So that's kind of cool to have. There's my Necrons. Basically my recipe for the Necron medals that I'm painting right now. So keep this with you, never lose it, and then that way you will always have your recipes. And then I've got some more paints right there. So definitely got enough paint, I feel like, And you can always set up a little project box too for when you're getting ready to start on a project, and that way you don't have to dig through all your paints and you just have them right here, and then you can divvy them back into. I think I did a video on all my paints here. I just recently picked up the G-Dub airbrush set, which is right there. And then there's all sorts of sets, like I have them divided up by washes, by G-Dub paints, by Privateer Press paints, by Vallejo model color paints, by Vallejo Air. It's all sorts of wackiness in there, but at least they're divided up so I can I'll be like, okay, well, I need this brand, let me go get it. And then I just dump in here, and then I got my sprays and everything right there. So it's, you know, it's pretty comprehensive little workstation here. Got it right next to the light, so really good light during the day, but definitely during night you need this lamp right here. As you can see right there, that thing definitely puts out a lot of light. I love that light. I almost kind of want two of them, but I think it just might be a little too much. And of course I got my little mini fan. I bought that at Walmart like 10 years ago. That thing is a champ. I suppose I should probably unscrew it and clean off those blades. It got a little bit of dirt on it, but hey, I'm not too worried about it. So now I'm going to show you how to set up your portable box for going down to the game store and working on your stuff there. So I went down to Walmart and grabbed me one of these banker boxes here for your normal manila folders and stuff at tax time. They sell a 3-pack of these for like 15 bucks, right? And the old battle foam used to actually fit in this box. Now, I think my most recent battle foam does not fit in these boxes. Coincidence? I don't know. But they don't fit into here now. My old battle foam definitely fits into these type of boxes. So they always fit into the $15 box that you can buy from battle foam, but these ones maybe not so much. Regardless, basically just grab a piece of Tupperware, throw all your heavy hitter paints in here with your brushes, whatever else you might need. I got my water cup here I need to dump out and put in there as well. And I grabbed my fold down light from IKEA. I think they still sell these for about $15. Folds right up, and plugs right in. Obviously got the little clamp and everything, so hopefully there's a space down at the store for me to plug into and have a little light. Have a little extra light's always good. And then I got my little game mat, just so I don't basically mess up their tables down there, because nobody wants to do that. Grab a couple of paper towels. Always a good thing to have a paper towel. Now when you're transporting your miniatures, I want to put the lid on there. So now when you're transporting your miniatures, again, it's great to have a project box, because what project boxes do is they help keep your stuff organized, and if you have all your things on sticks, it's very easy to work on everything. There's my test model for my tune blades. I got the stalker and a couple of pieces that I popped off as well. So I'm just gonna situate these into here, and then I've got the other box full of all the tune blades that I'm painting up. That's the last part of this commission here. So I just need to go back and do all the edge highlighting on the green, and then I'm pretty much done with this whole commission. So I have no idea why Siri talks to me. I don't know what I say. I just need to turn her off. Nobody likes her. It'd be much cooler if she talked like Cortana. Anyways, so that's pretty much it. I mean, just set up your project boxes, have your little space cleared out here, a nice little compact, 4-foot space, give or take, in a, a corner or by a window. And you can really do a lot of work for not a lot of money, depending on, what you already have as far as like an airbrush compressor or something like that, or you can even get a little portable there. So this, just getting organized really helps save a lot of time. When you're trying, when you might only have like 30 minutes to an hour a night, you want to maximize your painting time and not be like scrambling looking for paints, looking for a good light, etc., etc. Just it's go time, just time to hobby out. And really kind of, hobby is therapeutic. I love doing it. And then also too, I have a little mini to-go box with my tools, just for scraping down models and things too. So I can, if I need to, I can put that into, just flip the lid over on that and grab whatever I'm working on and take that up to the local store too, or over to somebody's house and just, hang out, have a few beers or whatever. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed my little tips and tactics on how to set up, a productive hobby area for yourself. And if you have any questions on any of the things you see around the studio here, or any suggestions you might have as well on products I've used, or products you were wondering about, please drop them in the comments there. Spiky bits. Make sure you stay in the trenches by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.